Welcome to another episode of the OC podcast. I am your host, Ricky Villar. On today's episode, we're going to continue on with watching the OC Season 1, Episode 25, The Shower. As always, I am joined by my partner here, Kenzie. How are you today?
I'm good. I am so sad we're so close to the end of the season.
We're inching closer and closer to the series finale. We're literally got 2 episodes left after this. Like, that's it.
Crazy. So when I saw the name of the episode, I was like, oh, a baby shower? And I was like, someone's pregnant? And then I was like, oh, like a bridal shower. But then Julie corrects me and she's like, it's a couple's shower. So, but I was like, shit, like this is it. We're getting like,
yeah.
It's really sad.
It is.
The season finale is like devastating to me. Like I remember being really emotionally upset watching it live when I was like in middle school. I'm not ready to relive it. Like I have enough PTSD from it. Like
yeah,
I'm not ready.
Yeah,
and I'm not ready for season 2.
I'm not either. Like it's crazy to me that we've done this like every week for the last 24 weeks now.
That's really wild. Wow, I didn't stop to think about that.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, it's the culmination of all this. It wraps up season 1, and it's like, damn, like we've had some great episodes. We've had some highs and some lows. We had Oliver.
All the lows were Oliver. All of the lows were Oliver. Come on.
And it's funny because we talked about this a little bit off the air, but like when we get into the episode, I hate Teresa. Like,
yeah, like she's not like a villain per se. I just like, I don't like when someone brings up they're like doing something, like she like brings up all the time that she's not trying to tell Ryan things because she doesn't want him to get upset. But then it's like, why are you in Orange County? Like, why are you in Newport then?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, why did he? Yeah,
it's fine if you want Ryan's attention, but don't be like, I'm not trying to get Ryan's attention.
Exactly. I don't know. All right.
And this episode is a lot of Teresa.
Oh, it's got so much Teresa. Season 1, episode 25. Before I dive into it, I want to send a shout out to all of the people that are listening. I normally do it at the end of the episode, but we've got a pretty strong, fan base going on in the world of Reddit and Facebook groups, and people continuously comment. The people that run the Reddit over there are super supportive of the show. It's amazing. I love it. I sent you that comment that somebody had made.
Yeah, I love it.
And it just made me super happy because, I mean, this is what the show is. It's just a bunch of people talking about how fun and how much they love the OC. So,
and that no show is like the OC. Like,
none.
They can try to like make new shows. Not that like they're making like reboots or anything, but like something that's similar.
Yeah.
I just think this show like had some, especially in the first season, like bottled like true teen drama magic.
Yep.
I don't think we'll ever have anything like this.
No. The only thing that I felt like was close teenage drama-y was the Friday Night Lights, but I think on a different.
It wasn't that far apart though.
Yeah, it wasn't. No, and I love Friday Night Lights. So.
I love Friday Night Lights. Ooh, that could be our next show.
Yeah, exactly. All right, season 2 will be focused on season 1 of Friday Night Lights. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so season 1, episode 25, The Shower. Synopsis, rating 7.7. Very low rating for this episode.
Teresa.
Yeah. We're gonna start correlating bad episode ratings by either Oliver or Teresa.
Yeah, like honestly.
The synopsis is pretty straightforward. Julie's wedding shower is anything but uneventful.
Mm-hmm.
Seth has lunch with Summer's dad.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow. I like that, like, the first sentence is, like, broad, but then the second sentence is, like, just straight to the point.
Straight to the point, right? Yeah. Not a lot of words. I thought it was okay.
It's all right. I just don't like that it's, like, broad and then, like, either both sentences need to be like that or, like, I don't know. They just can't, like, change tone that fast.
Exactly.
But at least it didn't spoil everything, so we'll let it slide.
So the recap, it shows the blackmail game, which just infuriates me. The
recap was really weird to me. Like it was like I don't know. It just showed so much that like you kind of knew what was coming.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
So it was like Especially because like I've already seen the show before. So I was like, thank you for reminding me of every single thing that's gonna happen in this episode. Like, because
Yeah.
sometimes we watch them and I don't remember like every single thing that happens.
Yeah.
But then with
Nice.
this recap, I remembered everything the second it started, and I was like, God, like I just thought it was like a shot. Like I told you, I thought it was a baby shower. Like,
Exactly.
the recap, it was like, okay, I know every single plot point that's gonna happen. Like,
Exactly. It's like, who's pregnant? Oh, wait, no, darn, it's worse.
like
The gruesome
thanks.
twosome are getting married.
I love that nickname. It's should be on t-shirts, honestly. They should give out swag bags at their wedding.
Yeah.
That like Sandy puts together, and he should make like commemorative mugs, plates. Like this is like technically like the royal wedding of Newport.
It really is. Oh my!
So there should be like plates.
Yeah.
And mugs.
And they have like some of them have like the GS, and everybody's like, GS mean it's gruesome twosome.
It'd be hilarious.
Sorry. Yeah, it's just
it'd be so good.
Yeah, I'm glad you completely skipped over that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I wouldn't know what GS, whatever. We're moving on.
Gruesome Sandy. No, but Sandy would love it. Can you imagine him giving them out? Like,
oh, absolutely.
Like, here, take a basket. Commemorative plates, commemorative mugs. Don't forget this event. The gruesome twosome. I wonder what he would call it. Like, not like the wedding of the century, but like,
yeah.
I don't know. He'd have some funny nickname for it. I hope he has it closer to the wedding.
2 weeks until the wedding.
Yeah, that like when they said that, I was like, okay, first off, it took me, I planned our wedding in like 6 months, but it was because I got married in Malibu where there was like that fire, and I can't explain at first the panic attack I had that there was a fire, and then I was like, they were showing our wedding venue on fire, and I was like, oh my God, I just paid a deposit. Like, like that was a lot of money for me, but we sped it up because they had to shove so many people's weddings around because of the fire. And 6 months was like, I was really stressed every single day until the wedding. Like,
that's why.
And I didn't invite all these people.
Yeah.
Like her shower was bigger than my wedding.
Hey, there was
and then also they planned the shower in like a day.
In like 15 minutes, it felt like. I swear to God.
Like
it was.
So I don't know how whoever Julie hired as her actual wedding planner, I feel really bad for. 2 weeks?
Yes.
For what we're calling the royal wedding of Newport?
Yeah. Right? Yeah. I mean, I guess when you have Caleb money, though, you can make things happen in an expedited process, though.
Yes. And I love that the next line from Kirsten is like to Sandy about how like Caleb bought the restaurant. Like, Caleb's not that bad. And she's like, so Caleb bought your acceptance of him.
Yes. Oh my God. It was like, so funny.
It was so funny because she always like has been like making comments about Sandy like not being like that. And then for her to make that comment, like I knew it was a joke, but it was also really funny because she was like, "You did take his money." Like,
oh yeah, she was proud of that one liner. You know what I mean? You know, Sandy's proud of his moments where he's just like
she was like, "I'm the funny one right now."
Yeah, exactly. Like, yes,
it was really funny.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, yes. Let's see here. What happens next? Where are we at?
Oh, so Ryan and Seth come in.
Oh,
and he's like asking like Ryan like how him and Marissa are doing. He's like, we're really good. And they're all like, you're saying really good? Like you saying really good is like singing from the mountaintops. And you're like, that's so weird that like Ryan's like happy. And like everyone's freaking out about it. Like Seth is so weirded out that he's happy.
Yeah.
Sandy and Kirsten are like, you guys are happy. There's no like drama. Like you and Marissa are just like chilling. Like that's wild. And then the phone rings and Sandy answers and it's Teresa. And he's like, let me grab Ryan for you. And she's like, well, I'm actually calling for you.
Ooh.
So we know it's something bad.
Yep.
And I was like, just hang up on her.
Yeah.
Like, what do you owe her? Like
and it's
crazy. I'm so mean. Sandy's so nice.
It's crazy because like the dynamic of that conversation is like, you come to me.
Yeah.
Did you find that weird? Like, it's not like, hey, I'll find time out of my day to come see you. I need you to figure out how like,
it was really
your
weird.
busy day can come to where
I
I'm
understand
at.
she's like working like an hourly job and
Yeah.
like but like it was just like a weird like to call him and ask him for free legal advice and then be
Yeah.
like,
I
I
need
have a
you.
lunch break.
Can you
It was
come to
weird.
my lunch break?
It
It's
was
like,
really weird. And then speaking of weird, Seth is talking to Kirsten, kind of putting all the math together of like who is who.
funny.
And he's like, so Julie Cooper will be my grandma. And he's like, and then Kirsten's like, Julie Cooper will be my stepmom.
Mom.
Like, it was really funny. And then
And then
he's
he was
like,
like,
my grandma wears Uggs.
and he was like, do you think Marissa and I will be related?
Well, technically, like they'd be step siblings, right?
No, oh,
They'd be step siblings.
it's like step
Oh
cousin.
no, step cousin.
Step
No,
cousins. I think it'd be cousins.
no. I think step.
No,
Can
he
you
would
be
be her.
step grandchildren?
Hold on.
Like,
Yeah, that's what step grandma.
okay, what do I Google?
So it would she'd be step grandma because that'd be his grandma. So then grandma would be. How do you relate grandmas with Marissa though?
Okay,
Is it an aunt?
is
No,
it
that's a
aunt?
sister. That's a
No.
sister. That's a sister.
If my wait, what do I Google? If my grandpa
Yep. Mary.
marries someone with a kid,
How are you related? Yeah.
what?
This is interesting dynamic. This is groundbreaking information you need to know right now.
Okay, wait. I found a chart. Actually, this chart doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to figure it out because to me that's weird. It's a weird dynamic to begin with because
I
obviously
found some like really long paragraph, like or like oh shit, it's like too bright.
oh my god. Can we just get an answer yes or like it's like a yeah, that's weird.
Oh, it says they would be your aunt.
What that's weird. Like I feel like
It says because there's no like term for it. But
oh,
that's just what genealogy. Oh my god, the person that answered this question, it says that they have 6 children and 16 grandchildren.
holy god, that sounds awful.
Oh, he's also like, I'm an expert on polygamous societies. What okay, but this is like really weird. But it is like weird because like Ken and Marissa are like
something
friends.
Yes.
And then it's like weird because like Ryan isn't like a blood relative.
No, but he's
Like the
treated
Cohens, but like he is like he's
Yeah.
treated like he was adopted basically.
Yeah,
Like,
it was. Yeah.
so it's like this is weird.
This is
It's
very
weird vibes. And I love that Seth is just bringing it up over coffee. Like no one wants to think about this in general, but no one wants to think about it like in the morning.
Yes, no. Seth's always trying to have these deliberate, over the top
Awkward, uncomfortable. Like these are the conversations like people have with alcohol, you know, to like get through. And he's like over here like he's like, can you give me some more coffee? I'm tired. I woke up 10 minutes ago. Hey, isn't it weird you're dating your aunt? Like it's so weird.
It's confusing. We transition to Julie
who will not stop talking. Like
she shows up to Kiki's office while she's working, literally on the phone.
Like she's like up to her ear. She does that thing where she like puts her other finger on her other ear, like to like try to like listen harder to like the phone. And then Julie just starts talking louder.
Gets louder. It's so insane.
And she's like, can you believe my wedding planner can't get this done? And I'm like, yeah, I can. 2 weeks? 2 weeks. You gave them 2 weeks.
Exactly.
And then eventually Kirsten ends her business call. And then this whole thing is so Julie that she comes to her and she's like, I need a teensy favor.
Yeah.
She's like, I want a couple shower, not a bridal shower, but also will you throw it for us? Thanks, bye.
Yeah. So you're asking
you interrupted a work day.
Yes, you interrupted a work day to not only stop and ask somebody to do the shower ASAP, but also the person that you're asking is the daughter of
the
groom who also you've been friends with your entire life.
Yeah, okay.
Awkwardly marrying her dad.
Like, so Julie and Jimmy got married and moved to Newport? Or like where was Jimmy that he met Julie?
That's a good question because we hear a little bit about
Because
who
Julie
Julie
in this
was.
episode kind of addresses that she moved to Newport pregnant, like with Marissa, kind of. The like
Yeah.
so because that she like addresses that her and Jimmy got married like in a hurry because she was pregnant with Marissa.
Where'd
And
they come from? Do they?
because her like in the episode they reveal that Julie like left
Yeah.
her hometown behind to
Yeah.
come here,
And
which is
never
like,
look back.
but like why would you pick Newport to move to? Like if you're leaving behind Riverdale, which is kind of like,
But is that where she met Jimmy though?
I don't think so, but I wonder if like maybe she met Jimmy like out in LA or something, or
Yeah.
like, and then got pregnant and then
Yeah.
like connect, like was like, what should we do? And they were like, let's get married. Like, and then maybe she came with Jimmy to Newport.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I understand
Or
what
I
yeah.
wonder, where did Jimmy go to college? You know what? I feel like he goes to USC. I feel like when they have a throwback episode and they show them all younger,
Yeah.
that Kirsten went to Berkeley instead of going to USC with Jimmy, and maybe Julie was in LA, met Jimmy at USC,
And then they moved
got
to
pregnant, and then they moved back to Newport together.
Newport. Yeah.
But so either way, that means that Caleb met Julie when she was probably like 24 or 23, maybe even
Yeah.
22, and was either pregnant or had a newborn baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he was
And that's a
probably
weird way to meet someone to like 20 years or like 15 years later
and
marry
he's
them.
still what, probably he probably was like 40 at the time, maybe. Like at least, right? Because he's probably in
Yeah.
his 60s, right?
Yeah, I think like mid 60s probably.
Yeah, exactly. So even
I
so
do
that's
think
like
he looks really great for his age.
oh, definitely. Definitely.
Like California living as a multi-millionaire
Oh, totally.
works for him.
100%. It
If
works for a
only we
lot.
could all. I'm like,
Exactly.
"Have your skincare routine, Caleb." He's like,
Yes.
it's just having over $1 million accessible to you at all times. Like,
Exactly. He wakes up and has somebody like pampering his face.
but I like that. So we see Julie not like blackmail Kirsten into doing it, but kind of like guilting her into like, you have to do it. Okay, bye. And then the next scene is Marissa talking about how Caleb is blackmailing her.
Right. So we figure out that she did tell Ryan in this scene. We were kind of
Okay, we were
questioning.
talking about it last time.
Yeah.
And it's so weird to me because I'm like, isn't Ryan one of those people who would like
Snitch.
he knows when to go to Sandy and when not to go to Sandy, and this is 1000% when to go to Sandy.
Yes. Like I'm so confused by like because we were not
Also,
sure.
I have a question. They deposit the check, yes?
Which
like,
check?
From Caleb.
They don't get it till later in the episode.
Okay, but they deposit it, I'm assuming right away. If he deposits it,
yes.
what can Caleb really do?
Nothing. I mean,
so okay, let your dad get the money and then just don't move in with Caleb.
Yeah, I mean, once they deposit the check, they
like,
transfer ownership of the restaurant to them, and
there's
then,
nothing they could really do.
No,
I mean, unless someone listening has like a real estate license in California, which would be really insightful. Let us know. Like, could someone like revert a sale or like? I guess there's probably like terms on the sale.
Yeah, but I don't. That's
but I'm assuming there's like a time limit.
Yeah, because he's doing it in like he's paying
like, what he's
way
doing
too much
isn't
money.
really legal.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's paying them way too
Yeah,
much money.
Marissa's a minor. Like I feel like anytime there's like a minor involved, like they're gonna side with the minor.
Exactly.
But I guess not with Caleb. I don't know, but
it was nice to see the pool table and not in a fist fight.
No fight in this room. Weird. And I love so they're like really getting along. They're like having a nice moment, even though like Marissa's stressed. And Seth is like, they cut to Seth and Summer, and Seth is like, what is going on? Why are they so happy? Make it make sense. He's like, they're not supposed to be like this. He's like, where's Oliver? He's like, what's going on? Like, bring somebody back. Like,
exactly.
Like he's happy for them. He's just very like he knows this can't last long. No. This isn't normal.
Exactly. Like something's bound to happen, which
something
Okay.
happens, but to somebody else.
Yes.
Summer gets a phone call, and it's like such a weird phone call just from the end we can hear.
Yeah.
She's like, "You stop talking. No, you stop talking." She's like, "I'll bring the margaritas." And she's like, "I'm kidding, Dad."
Yes.
And Seth's face when she says dad is like,
It's so priceless.
it's so funny. It's hilarious.
I love like his dynamic throughout this entire episode because it's like an honest portrayal of like how somebody feels when they're getting ready to meet somebody's dad. You
Yeah.
know,
And like,
especially if
I,
you hear the relationship that
mhm,
Summer and her dad have.
clearly.
It's
And like,
yeah.
he brings it up. He's like, I kind of didn't even think you had parents. And I'm like, very true. Like, this
Yes.
is the first time we ever see
We thought you
Summer's
were like
dad.
Oliver.
But like Seth has like kind of integrated Summer so much into his life, like with his family.
Yeah.
Like she's always at their house. They're always like she's been alone with both his parents, like
Yes.
and like Seth does appear like a person that would be really great with parents.
He does. Yeah, and I
Like
feel like he would be with anybody else but Summer's dad.
I just think that like she kind of later in the episodes kind of like puts little seeds in Seth's mind that make
Mhm.
him super nervous.
Extra
And he
more nervous
just
than he already was, and
yeah,
just
and then
blows.
he just like blows it because
Yeah.
like when like you think like it's like when you study for a test or something and you're like I studied really well, and then you get to like the class and
Yep.
somebody next to you is like, do you know what about like this subject? And you're like, I didn't even read that. Like what is going on? Like, and you start second guessing yourself. It's like
Yeah.
that's exactly what Summer did to him, and it was really fucked up of Summer.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly. Like
I don't know.
he already was because he felt. I mean, his first comment: "Your dad's not going to need to eat the menu because he's going to eat at the palm of my hands."
It was so good. And like
Uh,
he was actually really confident. He
he
was like, you
was.
know what? I'm really great with parents. And I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, he probably is. Like,
Yeah.
because he always talks about how he's like an old soul.
Yeah. Which he is. You
And
know what
he
I mean?
is. And it's
Yeah.
like he's probably thinking, like, I can just like say little tidbits and her dad will love it. Like, and
Yeah.
it's just like I but I
Just
love Summer's
frustrating.
dad. I love Summer's dad.
Oh, it's so good. It's
He's a
so
great
good.
TV dad.
Yes, very much so. Then we transition. It's Teresa, Sandy. He beat up on her.
It's
Um,
so I like that they never really show you anything, and then it's just like you saw her eye on the phone call, bruised eye, and then like you see her eye now. And I love that Sandy like kind of just like doesn't like be like, will he hit you? Like he like lets her like come
yes.
out with it,
Yeah,
like on
exactly.
her own terms.
Yeah.
I hate this so much, like because yeah, Eddie came and beat up Brian.
Hmm.
But like he didn't seem like an overtly like the way he was with Teresa and the scenes they showed us with them, especially in the previous episode at the
At the
their
party.
engagement party,
Yeah.
were really like tender. And like when like she was like telling Marissa and Ryan to talk, and then Eddie made some like he was the typical guy like not picking up on what was going on. He's like, well, I'm eating my cake.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
he was like kind of a doofus like
Uh-huh.
boyfriend.
Yeah, I
I'm
didn't
just like,
feel like
she goes, he lost his job, he started drinking, and then he started hitting, like, he just got really upset. And I was like, I understand, but it was just like a really weird progression to show Eddie very angry
Mhm.
and jealous. But then,
Mhm.
like, once they talked, they were totally fine. He was like a doofus airhead. And now he's violent and a
Yeah.
drunk.
But even more so is this isn't the first time.
Yeah. So, like,
They
when they
make it
say it's
clear
not the
later in the
first time,
episode.
I'm like, how many weeks ago did Marissa go to their party? Like, because it wasn't just like one of those things where I'm like, oh, behind closed doors, you never know. Like, it was like they painted him to be so nice, even to
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yep.
And it was like, it just seemed really like if they had not made him so nice in his previous
Right.
episode,
Yeah.
I would like think it was like a natural progression. I just feel like the writing was really weird with Eddie. Like they just wrote Eddie to be like whatever they needed for the story, and
Mhm.
not like they didn't write Eddie as like an actual character.
Yeah, because the
Like, he's
development.
just hitting plot points for them. Like, he
Yeah,
isn't
because if you look at his character, like he was every reason he's been mad so far
was valid.
has been justifiable. So it's not like
And the
we
second he was alone with Ryan, he like apologized and they became friends again. He was like,
yeah,
it was just like it was just a bad situation
yeah,
between us. He's like, we've been friends forever. Like, we're the last two of the crew. Like,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I was just like, what was the point of making him so nice? Because it's like, I do think that he might be completely different to Teresa behind closed doors, but like, why did Teresa leave and then come back?
yeah, that didn't
And
make
then
any
like have this engagement party of like, because like if she felt really trapped, like she did get out. Like, why would she go back? She didn't even really seem to like him.
no, like that's the whole reason she left was to be
Like,
with it.
and if this was already going on, like it just felt really weird that like she went back because like if she left, I just feel like she made it so far out of him.
Yeah,
And
because
like that could have been it. Like,
and Ryan was willing to make it work in Newport
yeah,
with her.
yeah,
Right, with her, get a job, help do things, get their lives
yeah.
together. Like that was talked about between the two, right?
It was just like weird.
Yeah,
Like,
it's very weird to
and
paint
then she
paint this
clearly
picture.
wants Ryan to know. Like, I
Oh
know
yeah,
she swears up and down she doesn't. She
yeah,
tells Sandy at this lunch or whatever,
yeah. Because then she later
don't
on gets
tell him.
mad. Yeah, yeah. I
But
don't.
like, she basically asks Sandy, like, what can I do if he does it again? And he's like, you're gonna go back to him. And she's like, I just kind of want to know, like, my rights. But it's like
Yeah,
weird to me because like all you could really do is get a restraining order, or like if someone sees it, she could file like an assault charge, but
right.
like
Yeah,
she's not going to do that.
yeah.
Like,
Exactly. Like why?
I don't know why she's going to Sandy because she's not
Right.
going to do anything Sandy's suggesting. And I'm like, you're only going because you want Ryan to know.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. I was literally she's scheming behind the closed doors, really saying that she doesn't want Ryan to know. But why would you call Sandy? I don't understand. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like
Like,
it's weird. It makes me uncomfortable. And
yeah,
I'm like, but she should leave him, shouldn't go back to him.
yeah, kick him to the
Fuck
curb.
Eddie if this is what they're doing. I just think they like used Eddie poorly as the show
Yep.
because they kind of just used him for plot points they wanted to hit, not like
Yeah.
they could have handled this really well, but they just like kind of rushed through it. Like everything with Eddie.
They shouldn't have painted like at the end of the last episode. He should have been angry still. Like you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like he
Wow,
was
it
just
was
like
overly
so
weird how nice he was about
yeah.
how everything. Like you literally stole my fiance, slept with my fiance, all of these things, and so you're
Let's have
telling
a
me,
soda together.
like,
Like
yeah, I don't.
it was just like really, I don't know. If
Yeah,
he
I
would
don't
have
know.
not been changed to be so nice and like before this every point he's had to be mad was like super valid,
Yeah,
like I don't know, it was just weird and it's like I don't know, but she should definitely, but if we're just pretending this is
bye,
how
Eddie.
he's been the whole time,
Bye, Eddie.
goodbye Eddie,
Bye.
press charges against Eddie, I don't care that you
Yeah,
lost your job, like
yeah. Throw his ass underneath the jail cell.
don't
Don't hit
hit
women.
anyone.
Yeah. Then we transition to Summer and Seth talking
Summer's
about the
trying
lunch.
to give tips to him
Mm-hmm.
about meeting her dad, but let me say that she is just sabotaging Seth.
100% here.
He has all these like jokes he wants to make, and like he's like, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna order this. And she's like, don't do that, don't order a salad. My dad thinks it's weak.
Yeah. So
Which like is a
he said
tip.
celery is gay. Okay, got it. That's exactly
Like
what he said.
so funny. But it's just like, I don't know. And then she says that their common interest is Summer. She's like,
Yeah.
all we really talk about is me.
Right. Which should technically be a home run.
Yeah.
Because Seth loves him
To
some
talk
Summer.
about Summer. He
Right.
loves
he loves
talking
to
about
talk
Summer.
about Summer. So that to me would have been the point where Summer should have been like, you know what? Yeah. Talk about me. Talk
Yeah.
about what you like about me. Talk about instead you're
But
like,
also, like, isn't that a really good thing to talk about when you meet your significant others?
yeah, like you would
Right?
want to do that anyway, right? I don't know. I
I
feel
don't know.
like
And then she just like kept telling him, like, don't talk about this, don't do this. And then he's like, that's all I do. Like,
yeah, he talks about comic books.
he doesn't think comic books are cool. He doesn't like sarcasm.
Yeah.
And Seth's like, what? Like, I can't breathe at this lunch. Like,
Yeah, sarcasm, jokes, comics, and
none of it
Summer.
works.
Like that's all he cares about. You know what I mean? Then we transition to Jimmy and Haley getting it
I
on.
hate them as a couple. It's just such a train wreck. Like, I can't watch it.
It's so
But it's
funny to me. This scene's amazing though. Like
this
this scene
scene
is
is so
so
funny.
good.
So they walk up
Mm.
to the Cohens. They're gonna tell everyone they're together.
No, that's not
What?
it. That's not it.
Isn't this it?
No.
Oh, this is
Marissa walks in. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, like your faucet was leaking."
Yeah,
And
and
I
there was so many like sexual puns here. It's so bad.
and then like I love Marissa's face while they're explaining it. And we just look at Marissa's face. She totally knows what's going
She's
on.
like,
Stop talking.
yeah, she's like, I don't care. Like you know what I mean? It's
It's
hilarious.
so funny. And I love that Haley's like, "Okay, bye. I'll like if your faucet leaks again, call me." like what are you saying? Like
Yeah.
it
Yeah, and
was
she's
so
happy for him, you know what I mean?
she's
Like,
very happy. She's like, "I'm glad you found someone." Like she's like, "It's really nice. Like you deserve someone to have be
yeah,
this happy with."
yeah.
And then she starts to try to tell him, like,
Bad
"I'm
news.
gonna move in with Caleb." But then he won't stop talking, and it's so sad. He's like, "Oh, like we got real money. Like we have a real chance. Like we're gonna get a real home.
Yeah.
You're gonna be so happy." And she just doesn't tell him because it would be so painful.
Can we stop for just a second? You know, she's gonna be really happy with this new home. What about all the work that Seth and Summer just did on that bedroom? Can we talk about that for a minute? Like,
Like the whole thing is like there's no way they painted that and did like any drilling in an apartment.
yeah. Well,
As someone who lives in an apartment,
apartment that knows you're not allowed to do any of those things. Yeah, exactly.
like I tried to hang something on this wall behind me and they were like, absolutely not. So
Marissa, we got lunch. Marissa, Ryan, Seth, and Summer. Marissa finds out that Seth is going to meet Summer's dad.
it's so funny.
She finds quite kind of interesting. And then of course you know, not surprised, Seth has a great line. I'm great with parents, you know what I mean? Like
And he's like, and we all know I'm great with the daughters.
yeah.
It's so creepy.
Which is funny because I love how he says he's great with parents, even though this is literally the only girlfriend he's ever had that he's going to meet their parents. So
I think, like, if you think about it, he, as a kid and a teenager, he was probably like pity invited to a lot of parties.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And he probably only hung out with the parents. And like
Definitely.
I remember like going to parties where I didn't like anyone and I would like hang out in the kitchen and like talk to people's parents. Oh my God, my best friend Kelsey isn't listening, but it was all we did. We used to always go to parties and like hang out with the parents in the kitchen.
That's awesome.
Because we were like, I hate people.
I get that 100%. We transition. Sandy tells Kirsten about
Teresa. And she says, Ryan must be devastated. You wouldn't know it looking at him.
Mm. And he tells her, Ryan doesn't know you. Which I get. I am.
I agree.
I am team Sandy. Yeah, I'm team Sandy 100% throughout this whole entire episode. Even when Ryan acts
can I just ask, why wasn't Sandy like, if you don't want Ryan to know, get the fuck out of Newport?
Yeah. Like you're literally working at a place where it seems like it's a highly regulated visit place by people in Newport. So of course he's gonna run into you and see your face. And then how is he gonna act?
Yeah, and like the second he sees you in Newport working, he's gonna be like, "Why are you in Newport if you live in Chino?" Like
exactly.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know. Let's see here, Marissa. Let's see, and then we go to.
Marissa comes over to help the Cohens for like the shower.
Yeah, which
is like to help Kirsten like plan the shower.
Julie's so happy that she's there. She's like, I'm here to help Kirsten.
And then Julie's kind of nice about it. She like hugs her. She's like, okay, well, thank you for helping. Like,
and then
really appreciate it. And she leaves, gives them some space. But Kirsten is looking at the guest list and it's like, there's nobody from Julie's family coming.
Yeah.
And Marissa's like, that makes sense. Like, we don't really talk to anyone on my mom's side. And she's like, not her parents or sisters. And she's like, there's always Aunt Cindy.
Yeah.
And she's like, Ryan's like, I'm glad you're taking the high road. She's like, you've never met Aunt Cindy.
So good. It's so good. It's so good. Like this whole dynamic of what Marissa
It was
does.
so funny the way she said that. And I'm like, then don't do it. Like, Ryan,
Yeah.
tell her to stop. Like,
Exactly. You know?
because okay, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I feel like you can fuck with people on their birthdays. You can do whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like weddings and babies, like get game off. Like you can't do anything. Like you can't. Yeah, like you can't. Like
yeah, totally off limits.
And like I hate Julie, but like no, weddings are just like even though she is a planner, obviously, like they're very stressful and like
this is
you're already worried about a bunch of stuff can go wrong. And like, I don't know. And Julie's so secretive because she's like embarrassed. So it's like, that's the last thing she really needs.
Exactly. It's
I hate her, but I love it.
Like, so exactly.
I watch through my fingers.
We transitioned to the $2.5 million check in their hands. I would love to know what that felt like.
No. It's Caleb's hair routine. How much I spent on anti-aging products. I love that he's super tan but has no wrinkles. Like
hashtag goals. Caleb, I've got a drive-in podcast network I can sell you for $2.5 million. Like,
I have
we'll sell you this OC. We'll sell you the OC podcast.
Into the Newport group. It's like the Newport group podcast.
Oh god. 2.5 million. That's 1.25 for each of us.
So he says this is more than twice they put into it.
Yeah. I thought
was all that money Caleb's? Or I mean Sandy's?
I guess that's a solid point. Like, I mean, technically you would think it'd be like a 1.25 split, but
I think they should subtract whatever Sandy put into it and then split that balance.
Yeah. So if it's half of what, but if that's like more than half of what we put into it, so like, do they put 1.25 million into it? So then
well, I don't know because he said it's more than twice. So I'm like, we don't really know the exact number.
So basically,
but I'm sure Sandy was really chill and just split it down the middle.
Yeah, because like if you think about
it, don't need
no. I mean, if you technically think about it, Jimmy would walk away with what, like $20 maybe? No, I'm just kidding. But he's got like restitution to pay. So doesn't he have restitution to pay? So what is he going to do? Like,
so they've never addressed that, like ever. Because remember how the liquor license guy lost his money and go back to work because of it?
Yeah.
I'm like, so he didn't pay it, obviously.
No. So like, and he owes millions of dollars.
I wonder if it was like a percentage that he had to pay of restitution or something. Like maybe
or
they
just do what Jordan Belfort did and like pay like the minimum amount every month for like the rest of his life or whatever.
Maybe,
yeah.
That sucks.
Speaking of a scumbag. But all right, yeah. So then we meet
Aunt Cindy.
Yeah, super spunky.
Super spunky. She's wearing like denim capris. She's wearing wedges and like a really tight t-shirt, like one of those tattoo print ones.
Yep.
And she's just following Kirsten around. She's like, "Do you mind if I smoke in here?" And she's like, "No, like please don't." Like she's already smoking. So Kirsten picks up really fast on the fact that Aunt Cindy is not close with Julie.
No, not she's in the slightest.
When is the last time you talked to Julie? And she's like, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. She's like, we had a real falling out. I'm surprised I'm invited.
And then Kirsten looks over at Marissa, and Marissa's like,
over her face. Yeah, she's literally like
doing one of these numbers, which is so funny. And then guess who arrives?
Julie who's actually really excited. Like she's so happy.
Great mood. And then she sees
Aunt Cindy, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, "I got invited." And she's like, "By who?" She's so cold and aggressive and like,
the
way you remember Julie.
Yes, exactly. Then we transition to poor Seth.
Bombing is an understatement. It's so brutal to watch. Like, so when my husband met my dad, I was like, my dad's the easy one. My mom's like not scary, just like the harder one, I guess. My dad's really chill. But it's weird because I would describe Summer's dad as really chill. It's just Seth won't stop fucking talking. Like,
Yeah, it's
like you know
brutal.
when like someone can type like they're like I type like 175 words per minute, and you're like,
Yeah,
damn, like so many.
yeah,
That is the speed Seth is speaking at, and it's all about the wrong topics.
everything's wrong.
He goes in this
And
weird tangent that reminded me of Christian about like Superman and
yeah,
Batman's like skills.
and she
And I was
literally told him beforehand that comic books are off the table.
I love when he's like, "Should we order?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's go. Let's order." I'm like, "Stop." He wants you to order, so you stop
Shut the
talking.
fuck
He
up.
wants food in your mouth, so you're not speaking. I
I
don't even
would,
know what he was talking about.
I legitimately would have watched an entire episode of this lunch.
Same, because one, we've never met Dr. Neil Roberts,
Yes, we
and
haven't.
we get to know him over the next few seasons, and I
Yeah.
really like him. He's a great character.
hmm
Also, a very hot TV dad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
not just because he's a doctor, but he's like a big guy. Like,
Yeah. I'd agree with you. He's a good
he's
looking
a
guy.
great casting as Summer's dad. They don't like look alike, but they have like great like parent.
Yeah, they
daughter.
do because, and I love the like. It's just little things. Love the way he looks at Summer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like when Seth is talking, he keeps looking at Summer, and it's not like a judgmental look. It's just like he's
No.
like seeing what Summer's thinking.
Yeah,
But it's like weird to me because I guess you'd put a lot of pressure on the person that's dating your kid, but like Summer's like smart about who she surrounds herself with at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Like,
and this is apparently from what we gathered. I think this is the first boyfriend that has met
mhm.
the dad. So like, I feel like
He already passed like a test, basically. Like Summer's never felt comfortable enough to introduce anyone to her dad, but she feels comfortable enough about Seth.
Right. That's one of my big issues, and obviously what happens later on in the episode. I had a real issue with this progression of the storyline.
Summer could have like stepped in.
Yeah, I feel
like she tries a little, but not like I don't know. I just feel like she could have been
like, babe.
like,
Hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, or hey, I need to talk to you, or like, hey, like get him. I don't know, because it's like I said, if this was like the 100th boyfriend that met, it is what it is, but it's not.
I personally feel like I've only actually ever introduced my parents to like two boyfriends, like a boyfriend I had a long time ago, and then like my current husband. But like in those situations, I was more like on his side. Do you know what I mean? Like I was like, I wasn't like, I don't know. My parents wouldn't have changed my mind.
No, exactly. Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
like
they would have gave their opinion,
but I wouldn't have really listened.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to my parents who are not listening, but like as a teenager, especially like as someone who's growing into their own, and we've seen Summer grow so much this season.
Yeah,
she is feeling more confident with her choices, and it's weird that like she falters with this, but it's like I guess they've made a huge point that Summer's dad has gone through women like really crazy, and I guess it means so much to her what her dad thinks. It's just they haven't shown her dad enough for us to understand that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because
like, that was the first time we heard him talk to her on the phone.
Right. They haven't built the dynamic between the two of them through the first 25 episodes of this show.
We had like 3 episodes before this showing how close Summer is with her dad. I would understand it, but it's just very jarring that like this is his first episode and he has enough of a relationship with her
that he's going to hamper their future relationship.
It's just like really, it just seems really out of character, but it's like, I understand it when you're like, he's been divorced multiple times.
Yeah.
His current relationship, she doesn't like the mom, like the stepmom.
Yeah.
Like he's never home. And it's like, it just feels like they didn't build up enough of it being like, it's Summer and her dad against the world. Like it feels really random.
This is the first episode where I felt like this was probably the worst written episode that we've had. Like,
yeah, it just like nothing really makes sense. Like the thing with Eddie, this, like it's just like there's not enough backstory for me to believe it. I mean, like I believe Eddie hit Teresa, obviously.
Well,
but I'm just like it just there wasn't enough for like that flip of the personality.
Yeah, because
considering, like I don't know, there's just not enough.
Yeah.
If there's going to be a show that's like 27 episodes a season, I'm assuming all of the backstory is really developed. If
Yeah.
you had to give us that much fucking Oliver, you can give us more Neil Roberts.
Yeah, we would have. Yeah, I mean, if you would have gotten, yeah, they built Eddie wrong, and then it turned out to be a disaster. They
could have just kept Eddie on like the path he was on originally,
yeah,
but
and
they
just
like
been a
flipped
dick,
it,
been
and
a
it was
dick.
just like weird. But I guess like it's to show you don't really know what goes on behind closed doors. But it's just like they didn't really even talk about that. Like
No, because he never won, like the way he was with Teresa
it
never
wasn't
made
like
you feel.
I don't know because like the only times they showed him being aggressive or like overtly jealous, like
Was
he
over
was
Ryan.
right.
Yeah,
Like
100%. Yeah,
like
exactly.
Ryan was hooking up with her.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
I don't know. Jimmy, Haley, now this is a scene where they walk up. They're going to tell everybody. They're not going to tell everybody. And then
Julie and Kirsten just opened the door, but they're like making out.
Yeah.
What a way to tell everyone. I mean, Kirsten kind of already knew. Like
She
she had
saw
heard
the eyes. Yeah.
yeah.
She had a feeling something was going on. And then from there, Ryan and Marissa are going to pick the cake up.
How cute are they, by the way?
Adorable.
Like she's feeding him a brownie, which by the way, what kind of bakery is this that has like full-size brownies?
Yeah, that you're just allowed to pick off the counter and eat.
Like, I don't know. Like I was like, what?
Yeah, I've never
seen because they were like full size. Like they weren't like they were like little like if you're
it wasn't like a sample. It wasn't like a sample, right? Yeah.
It was supposed to be a sample, but like 2 people split one. That's not a sample. That's a fucking brownie.
That's a full ass brownie.
Which, by the way, I would love a brownie. Just saying.
Yeah. Sounds delicious.
But it's the bakery that Teresa works at. Yep. So they see Teresa.
She gets all mad and goes, I knew Sandy would tell you.
I fucking hate her so much.
And then Ryan gets frustrated because then he goes, Sandy knew, and then storms on out.
And then we transition to my favorite moment of the entire episode. Sandy comes in from surfing in the morning, and Kirsten's like, where have you been? I was looking for you. And he's like, oh, I went to go surf. And he's bringing her a vanilla caramel half cap dry.
Yeah.
Which dry cappuccinos are life-changing. Like I'm trying to cut back on caffeine, like I was telling Ricky, and like I love a dry cappuccino. They are life-changing. And Kirsten goes, oh, it's only 2,000 calories a sip. And I was like, do what you got to do.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
I love the whole vanilla and caramel. Like,
yes, it's a nice.
That's a bit much.
Yes,
like,
a lot.
But I like it. Like, you never see them drinking coffee that's like not in mugs from their own house. So I'm like, it's fine.
Exactly.
But it's also like I love that. Like my dad always brings us. Like my dad always wakes up way earlier than everyone when I go home to visit my family, and like he always brings everyone in my house their coffee order from like a local coffee place he likes. If anyone's listening that's in Allen, Texas, it's called Promenade. It's very good. But my dad always does that. And like my dad always reminds me so much of Sandy, and it's like so funny to like rewatch it and like see moments.
Exactly.
That make me think of my dad. But she's like Eddie or Sandy saying he wants to go visit Eddie. And Kirsten delivers the best advice of all. She's like, no one gives a shit about Eddie. She's like, focus on Teresa. She's like, look at what happened to this girl. And she's alone in a hotel room. Like, go visit her. And then she's like talking about like, don't just like shut Ryan out and like wait for Ryan to come to you. Like, go to him, just talk to him. Like, he needs to know your side of everything. Like, don't just like be two idiots like ignoring each other.
And I loved Sandy's delivery here to Ryan.
Yeah, it was so great. He's just
because it's not he shows
he's not
empathy,
saying
but at the same time, like he's like, look, I'm your parent now.
I'm responsible for you.
I'm responsible for you. Like, you know what I mean? Like
you
go, you beat the shit out of Eddie, you almost kill him, your probation's revoked. You're probably back in jail. God knows what happens. It doesn't matter. Like, I have to look out for you. I made the best decision for this family, not just for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he laid down the law. I liked it a lot from Sandy
And
there.
I like that, like Ryan, like he's like understood. Like
Yeah, he's like,
he's not happy about it, but he's like, you
no.
made some fucking points.
Yeah,
Stand with it.
exactly. Seth and Summer, they're preparing for the
Couples shower.
couple shower. She's kind of standoffish with him the entire time. He realizes it. I don't like this scene. I'm very, very like this whole, I don't know, like this scene
I
kind of,
would have like really understood it if they gave us more
yeah,
insight to her relationship with her dad. But it's
yeah.
just like to drop us on it on one episode where it's like, I don't know. It's just like really
The
weird.
dynamic here is weird because once you find out this is the first boyfriend that meets the father, you know that she cares enough about him to introduce him to her dad. So that's the one dynamic here. So if she's that serious about this relationship with Seth, it wouldn't have mattered how bad the date went, right? You can talk to him and be like, look, like you bombed with my dad. Like
Yeah.
you dropped the fucking ball. Like what you said you did, what I told you not to do, you basically did. Like, we're going to have to figure out a way for you to meet back with my dad. Hey, I was super fucking nervous.
He's like, well, we can always fix because he's like, did you hear like a review from our lunch? And she's like, I haven't heard anything. And he's like, he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And he's like, we can fix that at the next one. And she like doesn't say anything. And I'm just like, God, like you have to like be supportive, but it's like, I don't know. I wish they would have given us like 2 episodes ahead of this, like with little scenes with Summer and her dad. So I'd like have more of an understanding.
Even just on the phone, right?
But it was like nothing until this episode. So it was really bizarre.
I love, and I really feel like this was a great Kirsten Sandy episode.
It was.
Because she sees this spark in him that she hasn't seen in a while. You know what I mean? Like he's very happy. She's very happy that he's back on that track of wanting to help people like Ryan and Teresa and stuff like that. Which I love that she said that about him, right? She's like, it's nice.
I love it because I feel like they had like a lot of negative energy for a few episodes, and like she like was picking on him about her dad or whatever. Like helping him. But she was like, at the end of the day, like, this is the Sandy like I love, and like it's so nice to see you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're a different person when you're able to do the thing you love. And it was like, it's so important for like your significant other to like point that out, that they see that in you.
Yeah.
And it's like, now he'll feel more comfortable like going back. Like he won't feel like a sellout or like, like he'll just be able to go back and do what he's better at. That's like better for his soul also.
Yeah. Marissa's not thrilled that Teresa's back in town. I mean,
but she does handle it like really nice.
She's handled it how she's done the last couple episodes with the situation.
Yeah.
Helping her get dressed, helping her get all ready for the party, you know, and stuff like that.
Because like if you think about it, this is like really horrible timing for Marissa. Like everything sucks. Like
it's like
her mom is getting married to some old guy. Like it's like a stressful time. And it's like on top of it, now her boyfriend's ex-girlfriend is coming and like she's like going through something and needs extra attention. Like it's just like a lot to deal with. And Marissa could be like really upset about it, but she's a trooper. She's like, it sucks, but like what am I gonna do? Like
exactly. Teresa, Marissa talking about Ryan. Then we transition to Aunt Cindy playing a game of how well do you know no, we don't. So yes, it's not saying yes.
Yeah, it's how well do you know them?
Yes.
But I just want to say the shower is beautiful for being planned in like one day. So I hate this. So basically, like you're cutting between how well do you know them, and it's like just so painful. And they show Haley and Jimmy kind of like going at it. But then Aunt Cindy is like all over Caleb, and Kirsten and Julie are like talking, and Julie goes, my sister is all over my boyfriend. And Kirsten goes, I know what you mean. And I'm like, Jimmy's not your boyfriend.
Exactly.
Like you're married.
Exactly.
But I guess like it is weird. Like that was like her high school long-term love. Like she had a plan to get married to him. It is
Yeah,
really,
it's
really
still
weird.
weird. It's still very weird.
So then
Uh,
like all this stuff happens.
Julie said she's leaving. Ryan's leaving because
Yeah.
Ryan snatches Teresa's phone out of her hands.
Because she's been like getting calls from Eddie, which is
Yep.
not Teresa's fault, by the way.
No, and he freaks out because then we find out this is not the first time Eddie's beaten on Teresa. So Ryan is ready to go.
Takes Marissa's car keys.
Yep. And Seth tries to grab him, and that scene is quite interesting because it's kind of the first scene like that. I didn't like that a whole lot either. I understand what Ryan's doing, but
it seemed really out of character for Ryan.
Yes, even throughout this
the way
entire
he was
time.
going about it was just like not the way he's gone about it before. But I guess like I think this might be like his dad was abusive with his mom, right?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah.
So it's like very different. Like it kind of like sets him on like a I always forget that he has really bad mom issues.
Yes,
like
100%.
And this is obviously very triggering for Ryan, so that's probably why he's acting very different. But then again, this whole episode is so poorly written that like I don't know if that's really what's happening.
Exactly. Sandy arrives. Sandy and Ryan have a good moment, but question here: why wouldn't Sandy stand in front of the car? My only question.
I think Sandy wants Ryan to decide this on his own,
Yeah,
but to me, like this is like he's in a car, he's leaving. I think we're past that.
Yeah, I think it's you need to stand in front of the car. He's not going to run over Sandy.
Like
maybe he will. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it. With that's the way the episode's going, he might run over Sandy.
Yeah, and then it gets even worse. Jimmy and Kirsten have also Kirsten's paying the bill, by the way. I just want everyone to like think about how much this cost.
Yeah, exactly.
At least 15.
Totally. Jimmy's happy.
And he's like, "Can you just be happy for me?" And she's like, "Sure." Like, that's not a yes, bro. Yeah. Like, also Kirsten is jacked.
Oh, yes. Oh my God, yes.
I'm so jealous.
Aunt Cindy's giving Julie the business.
But they kind of have like a nice moment. Like she's like, "You left me. Like we were both supposed to move to LA and then you just moved here."
Yep.
And she's like, "We were both supposed to get out. Like I'm not supposed to be like this. Like we were both supposed to have the life you have." Like
exactly.
And then Caleb shows up and Cindy's like, "I guess I'm not invited to the wedding." And Caleb's like, "Of course you are." Like, it was like really sweet though. Like it was one of those moments. I was like, maybe Caleb and Julie do like each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's like, "I accept you no matter what. Like I don't care about this. Like it doesn't bother me." He's like, "I kind of like getting to know you." Like, and I was like, "What? You're getting married. You better already know her."
Exactly. And then we go to the next scene, which really I hate so much.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Seth and Summer talking about the.
Is this really talking? It's more like Seth being like, "Can you fucking talk to me?" And Summer being like, "But you messed up lunch with my dad," and she just runs away.
And then he basically asks her, like, "Are you breaking up with me over this?" And then she just bolts. Which
I hate it so much. It's so immature and like just cringy.
Ryan's trying to stop Teresa from going back. Ryan sucks. LOL is what I put.
But at least he went to Teresa and not to kill Eddie.
Yeah. I don't know. I hate this whole thing. I hate the whole thing with Teresa. Like he just got back.
It's just so poorly written, and I just hate it so much.
Yeah.
But then he's like, "Just come live with us at the Coens."
Right? Like what?
I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, did he talk to them about this?"
And then Kirsten goes, "I'm never throwing a party ever again." And then Sandy goes,
"Which is
"Don't
really
tease."
funny.
He's like,
"Don't tease." Like, she's like, "Something bad happens to all of them. Like, so stop having them."
Sandy says that, but Sandy enjoys the
Sandy
chaos.
loves this.
Because the chaos never really. It might involve Ryan and his kids sometimes, but he still enjoys.
When it's like the noopsies, he loves it.
Exactly.
Like he's like game on. He's like, "I hate Julie Cooper." Like, I think he really likes Julie. I think he pretends to hate Julie.
Teresa moves in.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I do want to say this out. Can I move into the Cohen's house as well? Like everybody's moving in. Yeah, let's go. Like, let's just. There's enough room in that pool house. Yeah. Hey.
I feel bad for the people that live in the house they use to shoot the exteriors because I'm sure people just show up all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
I would too. But Marissa shows up And Kirsten and her have such a cute little moment.
Yeah, they do.
She's
Yeah.
like, Teresa's here. And she's like, oh. And she's like, but you know what? Like, Ryan really loves you.
Yeah.
And she's like, everything's gonna be okay with you guys. Like she was like, he really loves you. And I
Yeah.
was like, that must be so reassuring. Cause like Kirsten definitely sees like a different side of Ryan that like Marissa doesn't see, you know, the
Yep.
side where he's at home and like
Yeah.
alone. And like it must be really reassuring to hear that. Like it's so weird that like they have a cute moment and like Seth and Summer are possibly broken up because he had like one bad lunch with her dad.
Exactly. Yeah. And
So
then on the
weird.
flip side of it, it's like you have like Ryan goes into Seth's room to start apologizing. I love this scene. Like this
I
where
love it.
Ryan or Seth gives him the business. Like, I'm not the person you should be apologizing to. The person you should be apologizing to is Marissa.
Because
Apologize.
everyone's like he abandoned her, yes, but like this is such a hard thing for Marissa. Like her mom is getting remarried to an
Exactly.
old guy who
Yeah.
is blackmailing her and
Yeah.
gonna ruin her relationship with her father. Like
Exactly. It's
it's
so stupid. Um
um
Ryan and Marissa, they kind of talk and they're gonna be
but they look
fine.
depressed as fuck.
Oh
I
my
just want
god.
to say.
Well,
Like it's so weird that like the beginning of the episode we were like, why are they so happy? And it's like by the end of the episode, like sure they're snuggling on a
bombshell, there's terrible again.
like
I don't
they're
know.
snuggling, but like do they look happy? Like
I'm not a fan. Not a fan of this episode. There's a small pieces that are okay, but a lot of things happened in this episode that I just was not a big time
yeah.
fan of. So MVP,
I went Kirsten.
yeah, I could, yeah, I liked her too in this. That's the only one that I really, I
I
don't,
was like kind of struggled trying to pick one because I didn't really like anyone. But I was
yeah,
like, you know what? Her and Sandy had a really like overall
yep.
decent episode. So
Yeah, I feel like what kind of the turning point for me, that's who was my MVP was going to be, was the talk with Sandy.
mhm.
The talk with Marissa kind of was like the icing on the cake for her, you know what I
Yeah, it
mean?
was
Like,
so
you know,
cute. Like
'cause even the talk with Jimmy, like she's just saying, "Hey, look, I know how my sister is. She's a train wreck, and I just want you're happy for the first time in your life.
like
You're kind of
don't
just
risk it for
yeah,
this.
yeah,
Like
exactly." So she had a great episode. Fun fact.
so Josh Schwartz's other show, Gossip Girl, also has the two leads dating and then their parents get like the Penn Badgley, who's like the fake Seth Cohen on the show, marries his dad marries the mother of like the fake Marissa on the show.
Oh,
So like they're step siblings dating.
that's awesome.
Kind of similar to this.
That's nice.
He's really into it. I don't know. Is he okay?
Shorts, we need to talk. Speaking of which, Shorts, come on the show.
Yes.
Jeremy got a fun fact for us this week. In the episode The Shower, Aunt Cindy, who was played by Holly Fields, who has been highly successful voice actor, most notably for the Star Wars Old Republic video games, Princess Fiona in the Shrek video games, and then Gwen Stefani on Celebrity Deathmatch, which is funny.
That's hilarious.
She was also the lead in the not so great Wishmaster 2. The song "Met Like a Girl, Like You" sung by Zach Hexum was in this episode. His younger brother Nick Hexum of the Great 311 is from his hometown,
Oh,
Jeremy's
weird.
hometown, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
So thanks for the fun fact as
Yeah.
always, Jeremy.
Yeah, mine was like a weird fun fact, and he's like a legit fun fact.
He's got the great fun facts. I love it. It's just, you know what I mean? We got the double fun fact every week, so I like it. Thanks, guys, so much for tuning in to another episode of the OC podcast. We greatly do appreciate it. Make sure to head on over to Twitter and give Kenzie a follow at KenzVanunu. Give myself a follow at Ricky_, and we'll talk to you guys later.